This is international boxing news, and I'm joined by the WBO and WBC Super-Welterweight champion Natasha Jonas. Pleasure to have you back on international boxing news, Tasha. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Nice
Perfect.
one.
How are the preparations going for your fight on November 12th?
Yeah, it's just got to the tough bit, so all the sparring's coming, and all the like fast stuff's coming. So yeah, it's interesting.
Perfect. We'll get more onto that in a minute, but I thought we'd go back to your fight against Patricia Berghult last month now. I rewatched the fight last night, and I thought it was honestly, I thought it was one of your best performances that I've ever seen you in the ring. I thought you were quicker, and a lot of the cleaner work was yours. How did you think the fight was going throughout?
Um, I think I give it a few rounds that the judges didn't. But honestly, I was a little bit disappointed, not in the performance as such, but it was because there were so many things that we did in camp that I didn't show that I really wanted to show. Um, but yeah, obviously I was happy with the win. You can't always perform amazing, but yeah, I was still a little bit disappointed, but I'm glad I won.
No, and I think so was everyone else in the arena as well. You could really feel it through the screen. One thing that kind of I was watching it throughout, obviously, was Joe's corner work throughout, obviously keeping you calm as well. How was he kind obviously you said you weren't overly happy with your performance. How was he going through the rounds? Obviously, he managed to keep you calm, but also kind of motivated you throughout. What's it like to have Joe in your corner through those moments as well?
I know when I come back to the corner and what he tells me is the truth. Like sometimes I think we've seen on a few other fighters that like, they'll be saying, oh, they're ahead and you're sitting there thinking, I don't think they're ahead. Or, but I know when I come back from Joe, I'm going to get the actual truth. So I trust everything that he says. Um, Obviously he's like critical because he has to be. He knows what we've done. He knows what I can do, and he wants me to do it. So, he does. We do have. It sounds stupid, but we do have a laugh as well. Um, so when he's shouting at me, and I'm like, yeah, okay, okay. And I could just I think I said it on Sky. I could do no, 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 no throughout the thingy, throughout some of the round. So like yeah, it's just yeah, I trust 100% trust in what he says when I come back to the ring, and I know that you know, he's experienced, he's knowledgeable, and what if I do what he says, that I'll win.
Perfect. And like I'm watching, as I said, watching the fight back, I thought one thing that kind of ultimately pushed the fight in your favor was your work on the inside and to the body. I feel that really like wore Buckout down throughout the rounds. Was that kind of one of the main parts of your game plan going into the fight?
No, it's definitely something that we've worked on, and it just so happened that it's like it just clicked at the right time. That was something I think a lot of people had said since the Terry Harper fight. The inside work was good, and like I kind of it was a bit weird because when we was amateurs, you never really got any recognition, or we used to be points at that time, so we never really got points for body shots, so we just never threw them. And obviously that's something we've tried to develop as the pro career has gone on, and it looks like it's finally clicked.
And it definitely did. I thought that was definitely one thing that slowed Buckout down because obviously I thought she had a great first round, and then kind of at the early stage of the fight was definitely where you guys were having more of even rounds. They're kind of really hard to split, but then later on you kind of went away with it as well. Well, and you finally brought the green and gold belt home. Has that arrived yet? The belt, have you got it in your house yet?
Yeah, I've got the belt now, so it took I think about 2 weeks to come after the fight. I really didn't want to give her one back, if I'm honest, and I was thinking, oh, yeah, honest. But yeah, it come a couple of weeks later, and yeah, I was happy. In the WBC, you get like a little welcome pack. Your coach gets they call it a towel, but it's like a belt that goes over the shoulder. And I was really like, I was probably more proud of giving that to Joe than I was receiving my own.
No, how did Joe react when you gave the towel to Joe?
He was made up. It's not his first towel that he's got. But he was made up to have two. And yeah, hopefully, more belts and stuff to come. So we need to complete his set.
Perfect. And talking of more belts, obviously you've got your third world title fight in the year, second unification fight of the year against Marie Eve Dicaire on November the 12th. What are you expecting from Dicaire on November the 12th?
I've been quite fortunate that Namas and Berghult, like they weighed in as well under the 150 limit, even though our limit's 154. So that kind of like give me as kind of a bonus for me because I'm not a heavy super welter. So, but I think the care will be, a bigger. I think she'll come in probably 160 plus. So I'll have that to contend with physically, and boxing skills wise. I think she's good with her feet. She's got good hands. She's smart. And yeah, but I just think I'm better. So
Perfect, I'm sure everyone else in the Manchester arena will think you're better than her as well. I'm sure if you get the same crowd as you did in Liverpool a couple of weeks back. Obviously, one of our only losses is to Claressa Shields. Obviously, coming off a great win against Savannah Marshall the other week. Would a win against Dicaire, obviously, with her only other loss being to Claressa, would does that show how much of a statement this win would be on your resume?
I think so. I don't really think of it like that. I just think of, I need to win anyway, regardless, because I don't want to lose. But I think, like I said, the other two, Namas and Bergholt, have been, a lot under that weight limit. But, that would be, someone who's, you know, earned her titles and fought the best at that weight. So it's like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but it's, she's a 154.
Yeah.
That's what she is. So, um, yeah, it'd like kind of dismiss the thing of, oh, she'd only fought this one, this one,
Yeah.
this one, yeah, and that's what it is. But like I say, it doesn't matter. I've just got to win.
So you think it would bring you kind of more legitimacy as a 154 pounder after this fight?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping it'll do anyway.
Perfect. And obviously, speaking of Claressa Shields, obviously, I can't remember if it was before or after the Savannah fight. She named yourself and Terry as potential opponents. I'll say, providing you both got through. Obviously, she gets through Savannah and you got through Dicaire. Providing everything kind of goes your way on November 12th. What would you want your preferred next fight to be? Would you rather have a defense against Claressa, providing she would like to move down, or would you like to go straight into the undisputed fight against Terry Harper?
Right now, I just want to focus on winning against the care and have a good Christmas and go on holiday with my little girl and enjoy watching Paul's fight in Japan. Um, but yeah, I think it does open a lot of doors and give me a lot of options, which is what I've always wanted. So I'm sure me, Ben, and Joe will go away and discuss that in the new year and come up with a plan because it was one title that I wanted and then I got that and then it was two, now it's three. So we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Perfect. And I'll make sure not to ask that question until after Christmas now, providing everything goes your way on November 12th. And as I said just before our interview, Tasha, obviously I've got one final question. Obviously, your former Team GB stablemate, Nina Hughes, obviously we spoke a little bit about her in our last interview, has just recently landed a world title fight against Jamie Mitchell on November the 26th in Dubai. Do you think this is the perfect opportunity for Nina Hughes and kind of the right time for her to fight for a world title?
Yeah, I think she's a fighter that's gone on a little bit under the radar, a bit like Jamie Mitchell, if I'm honest. When before she came over and beat Shannon, it wasn't a name that we knew of here. Unless you knew about women's boxing and how good she was, and she came and she had to take the belt from the champion, and she done that. And I think Nina's at that same thing where she just needed the big opportunity and the big chance to show what she's got, showcase her skills, and she's got what she asked for. So it's great to see one another teammate, two another mum, and someone a bit let's say more experienced in their boxing career get them opportunities no matter of age or anything. So if you've got it and you're still willing to give it, that you can get them opportunities and be successful. But she knows she's got a tough opponent in Jamie, because Jamie's done the hard work and getting belt. I'm pretty sure she won't want to give it up either.
Perfect. How do you see that fight go? Do you see that fight going Nina's way in the end?
It's a war. It's definitely a war. Yeah, I would love Nina to win, but like I said, Jamie's not going to be no pushover either.
Perfect, perfect. Natasha, that is my final question. And thank you again for talking to international boxing news. It's a pleasure to have you on the channel.
Oh no, thank you for having me, and sorry for making you wait.
No, that's all right, Natasha. Thank you very much, and best of luck November 12th.
Oh, cheers, thank you.